Oh, welcome everybody to the weekly Wednesday with Julie. I'm Julie, and tonight I'm just here for Q&A, but also to share a couple of lessons that we recently learned from a sale that we did recently. So, and it was an out-of-town investment. So I live in Kelowna, and the property was in Edmonton. So that's a 10-hour drive and an hour plane ride. And I'm in British Columbia, Canada, and Edmonton is in Alberta, Canada. So it's one province over, kind of like a state for my US friends. And this property started out in 2021 as a burr, basically. So what we did is we bought it, we renovated it, we rented it, and we refinanced it. And we ended up having a really great first tenant. The first tenant was a family member of the person who helped refinance the property. So it was really well looked after. And I had another partner, and that was the tenant's brother. So it was like a family affair. I was me and a family of two sons that were very interested in real estate, as well as their parents. And their parents refinanced the property. And I was, you know, the glue that held it all together, helped with the financing, was on as a mentor, and helped run the renovation, helped keep track of the budget, that kind of thing. So what ended up happening is brother was living in the house, which was awesome, and there was a legalized basement suite. So that was one of the things that we did with the burr is we legalized the basement suite, took it through the city of Kelowna and everything, and it really enhanced the value. We were able to take out a bunch of money from from the refinance. And that worked out really well because, again, there was a family member living in the upstairs, and we were able to select a very good, high quality tenant for the basement suite. These were very, very good A plus tenants, and the suite had just been newly renovated, so it was really easy to rent for a pretty decent rate. So things were going really well, really extremely well. And that went on for, I would call it about 7 months. And then, unfortunately, we had a flood. So sometimes it can happen anywhere. It happened to us in Edmonton. I don't think there's anything particularly special about this house on why it flooded. Sometimes properties flood. And what happened that year is it was super dry for all of spring, and then we got some heavy rains, and water was coming into the basement. So we had to renovate it, and unfortunately, that good tenant moved. So we had to basically replace the flooring. It wasn't terribly bad, but we had to replace the flooring. And the new tenant, and then the brother upstairs decided to move to Kelowna. Smart guy. Everybody in Edmonton that I know wants to live in Kelowna. And so he ended up moving to Kelowna. We got another good tenant to replace him. So now we've got a new tenant upstairs, very, very A plus tenant, and a new tenant in the basement after it had been flooded that was okay. It's kind of so-so. Not family, not related. So just a little bit farther out, you know what I mean? And we were self-managing, okay? And things were going pretty smoothly, of course, other than the flood. Then the upstairs tenants, these A plus tenants, and we're talking that now we're going on 2 years, okay? We're going into the second year. A plus tenants, guess what happens to A plus tenants? They usually end up buying a house because that's they have good credit, they have good incomes, and things are going well for them. And that's usually, a lot of people's next step. So they bought a house, and we were able to bring in, hey Christine, so glad you're here. We were able to bring in some other tenant, actually the basement tenants that were okay, ended up moving upstairs. So it's kind of funny because our original A plus tenants moved upstairs. And then our second so-so tenants moved upstairs. And then we got another set of tenants that, well, they were trouble, and we selected them, no, like it wasn't any kind of anybody's fault or anything like that. Unfortunately, self-managing from a distance can be tricky, and who we thought were pretty good candidates got into the house, and the upstairs tenants and the downstairs tenants, they were okay. Um, and moving right along, paying rent, but not, we knew we knew that they were probably not A plus tenants. And then we had another flood. Okay, so this is flood number two. We look into our insurance, and sure enough, our insurance covers the flood that happened the second time. So we were able to get another new suite done, a lot more done, a whole bunch more drywalling, a huge refresh, updating of some cabinetry in the bathroom. So a really, really good refresh, all paid by insurance. And we were compensated every month for the rental loss by insurance as well. And as it turns out, we discovered that the flood in the year before could have been covered by insurance as well. Okay, so we're in the second time of a flood. This time insurance is covering it, and they have covered everything, including the repair that was needed in order to prevent another flood from happening, adding a vapor barrier, adding weeping tile. So, this is kind of the journey that is going on. And then one of the tenants ended up moving out, and we got another new tenant. So just with all of this turnover and a little bit of damage that had happened, plus a little bit of frustration with the flood, and then a new tenant, and these tenants started not getting along. So here is what I discovered. The best thing from a tenant management standpoint, managing from another city. Hi, Greg. Managing from another city, the best thing that we could have done was, as soon as the family member had moved out of the house, brother, I'm just going to call him brother, moved from Edmonton to Kelowna. As soon as he moved out of the house, we should have gotten a property manager, because a property manager would have just done a better job of tenant selection. They might have actually been a little bit more encouraging of us to discover about the insurance, the potential for insurance the first time that the house flooded. And we we called about the insurance, but were told that the flood wasn't covered. But it wasn't until the second flood that we were told that it, in fact, would have been covered. So it's, that kind of thing can happen. But the real key takeaway, and the takeaway that I want to share with people who are thinking of living in one place and investing in someplace that's either a long drive away or a plane ride away, get a property manager in there sooner than later, unless you have like what we had in our situation, which was a family member of one of the investors living in the house, just to keep an eye on the place and have that much better set of boots on the ground. Property managers, they're never going to take as good a care of your house as you are, with the one exception. They're going to be better able to take care of that of your rental properties if they're actually in the same city. So definitely always keep that in mind. Okay, so that's what, and so anyway, we were having challenges with tenants that were fighting, a tenant that had a son with disabilities and was selling drugs out of the garage, and just it kind of kept snowballing. We ended up having to get bailiffs involved and eviction notices and judgment from a judge to have a tenant removed. And, fortunately,
Water
Edmonton
the key.
has been a very hot market. So what's what happened is that the property was able to sell fairly quickly. Um, and that, that was beneficial to us. And it was a tough decision to make, because we're told that Edmonton is just kind of on the beginning stages of going up substantially in value, but it still was a good time to sell. We got a lot of people through there. We had several offers on the property. So at the end of the day, it turned out to be okay. All right. So there is, what was the other thing? Oh, the other thing that I do want to make sure that people are aware of, and I did mention it, is make sure you really understand your insurance policy because we had a flood. I would call it fairly early on in our ownership of the property, and we called the insurance company, but they didn't provide us accurate information, which is fine because sometimes an insurance policy person is just at a call center. So you really have to take ownership, read your policy, understand your policy. If you don't understand your policy, then call an insurance representative that can really walk you through it and explain it. And if and you want to know, preferably before you even get insurance, what happens if the property floods? What happens if the property has a fire? What kind of coverage do I have as far as my expenses are concerned? And what coverage do I have when it comes to renovation and perhaps even preventative renovations, which we were fortunately again able to get covered. So those were just some adventures that we had when it came to being landlords from another place. We have a few other really good lessons that we learned as well. And one that I would just like to talk about because I'm thinking about it was the factor of the flooding. So when we bought the property, we inspected it. There was no indication of previously flooding. So usually like with a cracked foundation or something, there's been water in the basement before. You can smell it. You see it in the drywall. We didn't see any of that. We renovated the basement, but we checked um, with the renovators. They didn't change out drywall. They did change out flooring, but they didn't change out drywall because they said it was in decent shape, and nobody mentioned anything about it being stinky or smelling moldy. And so, what ended up happening is we thought it was because of we thought that there could have been a crack in the basement that we weren't aware of, even though we inspected it. And as it turns out, the basement was fine. We did wrap it again. We did add some weeping tile because that they recommended it. But it turns out the real problem were the downspouts. So you need to make sure that when you have, your gutters, that they're all clean and that the downspouts all lead away from the property. What had happened is we had re-sided the front of the house, actually just kind of like a half section of it. So about like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 feet of siding on the front. And when they did that, they moved the downspouts just to be able to access the exterior and they didn't put them back properly. So a lot of the water was coming back toward the house, and that ended up being the problem. And so sometimes, like I said, if you're getting water in your basement, check your downspouts, check your gutters. Sometimes it just means they need to be cleaned because they're flooding. So keep that in mind as well. So those are just a few things that I wanted to talk about some lessons that we had. I might talk more about it next week. We'll see how things go over the course of the week. I kind of find myself experiencing different kinds of questions throughout my time or just preparing a whole presentation like we did last time. And that was all about rent to own. So if you want to go check out that recording, that'd be awesome. And I want to, I'm, I need to remember to do this, and I'm working on it, and I'm getting better at it. And that is this. This episode is brought to you by Property Guys, West Kelowna South. All right. So if you or anybody that you know is looking to possibly sell their property in West Kelowna all the way south down to Osoyoos, then make sure and reach out because Property Guys is a great way to sell your house and make more money. It's basically a for sale by owner platform, and it gives you a lot of the same things that you can get by using a realtor. And I love realtors, by the way. I use dozens of them. I have over the last almost 2.5 decades that I've been doing this. And Property Guys can be a solution that can work really well for you. So, with that, who's got questions? And you can unmute yourselves. Try not to make it mayhem, but this is a pretty casual. This is a pretty casual event.
I
Okay.
just want to know what's weeping tile.
Oh, weeping tile. That's a great question. So, what happens in houses with basements? Like concrete basements or even cinder block
Mhm.
basements. What weeping tile does is if water comes, and I'm not a weeping tile expert, so full disclosure, everybody. All right. If somebody has a better answer, I'm feel free to jump in. It's my understanding, though, that weeping tile, when the water comes toward the house, it disperses the water so that it can't come in. Like water can be really powerful. So it
Mhm.
disperses it and then it goes down and then it gathers and then you have something that's called a sump. And what it is, it's a sub pump.
Oh,
And that once it gets to a certain level, then the sump turns on and it takes the water through a hose out to hopefully like the yard, again, away from the
yeah.
house. Or it can be connected
Oh,
to the drainage of the property that again leads the water away from the house.
okay.
I think I did
Cool. Thank you. Okay. Wow, I never knew that.
that. Yeah, it's huge.
I always learn something on these calls.
Oh, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. Thanks again for being here. Anybody, we have a great crowd. Look at us. We got
Yeah.
Christine, we got Al. Al, that's Al's phone. I wonder if it's Alan in Edmonton. I guess we'll see. Gray, nice to see you, Gray, Pankaj, and Johannes. Johannes is on his phone. I think he's driving. So there he is.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm driving in I'm also in so yeah, I'm not in Canada. I'm in Nevada. So fortunately here we don't have basements
Oh, really?
because I guess two reasons. One is because of the heat and also the rock. It's hard to break through the rock out here, so
Oh,
it's
well,
not affordable, I
Ah,
guess, for the builders.
that's interesting.
yeah.
Christine learned something. I learned something too. I didn't know that Nevada didn't have basements. It's good to know.
Yeah.
Don't have to worry about your basement flooding then, do you? No,
Yeah, right.
No, no.
it's pretty nice. Anything else? Glad you're here. All this information is for any real estate investor. You don't have to be in Canada.
Yeah, it's good knowledge.
And if there aren't a lot of questions, that's okay too. Sometimes these go like an hour, sometimes they're quick. Like this one could be 20 minutes. That's perfectly fine. Ooh, so I got something to show you, but I'll give you time to ask questions. I'll give everybody another minute and then I'll show you something and that might spark a question too, okay? So we'll give everybody a little bit of time. If they want to ask something else, if you want to unmute yourself and hop on, that works
Hey,
too. I'm kind of
hey,
watching everybody. Al, hi.
Julie. Yeah, it's Alan in Edmonton.
Hi, Alan. Good to see
Hi, can
you.
you hear me?
I can. I'm glad you're here. You were
So,
here the last time too.
so when you were talking about property guys, it kind of sounds like another thing that I saw recently called Bode. Have you ever heard of that? BODE.
No, tell me about Bode.
Well, it sounded maybe similar to your property guys, or maybe not, but it's sort of a automated realtor website where it provides the assistance
Mhm.
and I do all the work selling my house, doing the showings, but it kind of provides a few of the things that a realtor would do, like automated comps and um, sale agreement form and all that kind of jazz.
Mhm.
And rather than charging a big commission, they just charge 1% commission because I'm doing most of all of the showings and all that kind of work myself.
So
Does Property Guys sound like that?
it sounds similar to that. Property Guys is um, you pay up front, okay? So, and they also have ways that you don't have to pay up, you can finance your upfront costs, but it's a set cost and it's fairly minimal and it varies between depending on where you are. Then what happens is you get a full appraisal for your property, so it gives you a good idea of where to list it. You get all kinds of marketing because Property Guys does they do a lot of Facebook. Well, they do a ton of social media so to drive attention to your property. The property gets its own listing on the MLS, which is where most properties are viewed, quite frankly. And on top of that, you can choose to offer a commission or not if you want. So if there is if there's like a realtor that wants to make an offer on behalf of their client, you can still offer, you can still offer the option to pay a buyer's commission, which is you just don't have that option, usually if you've got two realtors involved. And so it can drastically reduce the amount of money that you pay for your listing. And then they have a really good automated system when it comes to communication from people that if they have questions about the property or if they want to make an offer. In fact, we have a property they just made an offer through Property Guys, and it's just another private seller. So he made an offer, we countered, we're waiting to hear back from him. So it does sound fairly similar, but it
Well,
sounds like, Bo, you
from
play
what you
it
said,
again?
it's pretty well identical.
Oh yeah.
I think that one is a copy of the other, which is great. It's a nice model, right? So,
Yeah.
so when the offers come in, they don't talk to you, the sale by owner person. They put it into the website. Is that how it works?
Sometimes they'll make a digital offer. Like this offer that I got, actually, I mean, I hope it is an offer. I countered and I didn't counter by much. But this was his name was like Oliver S. And he was very anonymous, this person, whoever did this.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if I'm taking it very seriously, but I've had private people call me. They get my phone number from the they get my phone number if they have been pre-screened. So when they dial the number on the phone number from the sign or from the listing, then
yeah,
they go to a call center
yeah,
for Property Guys who pre-screens
yeah.
them. Is that what Bode does?
Well, I'm not sure.
I wonder. Yeah, be good to
I
know.
haven't checked them out very much, but um, way things have been going in Edmonton the last 2 or 3 months is a lot of bidding wars, and it's just amazing how fast some houses are selling, right?
Yeah.
Like a house down the street from me,
Mhm.
they advertised it on I don't know which day. I think it was, say, a Wednesday afternoon. By the next morning, they'd had like 13 inquiries, 2 written cash offers with no conditions.
Holy, that's really fun when you own a bunch of houses in Edmonton, especially if
And
you've
then I
been for
was
about 10, 15 years.
and then I was involved in buying one in a bidding war
Ooh,
where so much happened within one day, you know.
yeah. Did you get it?
Yeah, but it was
Oh.
super competitive and it was sort of our dream home, so we overpaid, but we was the only way to get it.
Yeah, well, hey, your dream home, that's important. And I'm sure it's still very affordable comparative to where we are, as you know.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a mansion for the same as the average price of a Vancouver condo.
Wow. Nice. That's really good. That that's good. I'm glad you got it. When are you moving?
Mid-July.
Oh, cool. So you're packing boxes after this.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, If you ever want any information about property, guys, I think they are in Edmonton. It's interesting
Yeah.
with the franchise thing. And one of the owners, his name is Ian um, Tom Ian Tomlin, and his wife Megan, and they are OREG members. So you know about my real estate group, right, Alan?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so they've been longtime members, and they bought this franchise, and they're doing great.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Oh, are you gonna list your house with a boat, or are you gonna hang on to it?
Oh, I'm going to sell it myself, given the way I've seen the market being here, and it's quite a premium property. It faces into a park, so it's all green when you look out the front window. You
Yeah,
don't see any other houses, you just see green trees.
that's wonderful. I think if I remember correctly, you're in Dover area. Is that right?
Dover
Yeah,
Court, yeah.
Dover Court. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love Dover Court. One of my favorite areas of Edmonton. That's great. All right. Anybody else? We have a great crowd. Oh, yeah, it is Alan. Jane Kelowna. Jane from Kelowna. Hi, Jane. Jane Moore. Saw you register today. This is great. Um, I'm gonna show you what I wanted to show you, and then you can, yeah, you can ask questions after I show you. It'll be fast, I promise. All right, I want to make sure I don't open up. Oh yeah, I can't believe I don't have 86 tabs open. I'm doing something right. So, folks, I'm so excited about this. That's not it. Um, how excited am I? Here we are. Okay. So for anybody that doesn't know, this is our OREG back office. And this is where a lot of this is where right now close to 70 people are already networking and interacting with each other. These are 70 people that have either been OREG members or worked with me in a coaching capacity. Alan, forgive me. I think I need to add you to this, so just bear with me. I will. I'll do that as soon as possible. Um, and what you can do is all you have to do is opt into my free tools and you can become part of this community. And when you log in, again, it's free. The tools are free. You go to learning and everybody that wants to access my free tools, which starts with what's called a deal analyzer which helps you with your math. You also get access to these two courses, not the rent to own course. Honestly, this is my back office, so of course I have access to everything. The rent to own course is awesome. I encourage everybody to check it out if you're interested. But if you get access to all my free tools, and I will put a link in here right away so you can get it, or it'll be nearby if you're listening to this or you're watching it. You get access to the Street Smart, sorry, not that. OREG monthly members. So if you're a digital member or a monthly member, so digital members are like $47 a month. Monthly members are $97 a month, and they come to my live events. And now it is, I think I think I might have scared it, and it's thinking. Um, I'm gonna go over to events. That might wake it up while I'm over here. Uh, as there are upcoming events, I'm just about to put in the 24th. We have a social coming up. This is a list of members, people that you can interact with. Let's see if it woke up. It did. Thank goodness. So if you have access, so if you are an OREG member, like a monthly member where you invest in a subscription, you get access to the Street Smart Buyer course. I created this in 2016, and it's got all kinds of ways of finding deals, talking to motivated sellers, how to do all kinds of marketing, how to think creatively. It's also got a whole landlording course in it. But again, back to the free tools. If you access the free tools, you're going to get access to the OREG monthly membership recorded events. So this is right now over 100 recorded events that we've done since 2018. And there are still about 30 more to be uploaded. And it takes a while to upload these events just because, technology can take a little bit. So it goes back and there's all kinds of information that you can access. So multifamily, rent to own, financing, how to raise money, value add investment. Some of it's personal growth information that can help, with your spiritual journey, your mental journey, property management, buy and hold. Um, I think I said rent to own, sales training. It's just got a ton of information, literally hundreds of hours of really, really valuable content. And then the Street Smart real estate investment tools you also have access to. So these are all free tools and they're so useful. They are the foundation tools that I use with all the people that I work with. So the motivated seller worksheet is like how to put together a feature sheet on a property, what to look for, what to look out for. It comes with a full video tutorial on how to use it and the worksheet itself so you can, fill in the information that you're looking for. The Street Smart Analyzer, which is a pre-populated Microsoft Excel spreadsheet that helps you do the math on properties. It talks about, and it also comes with a tutorial so that you know kind of what to do, how to navigate it, how to use the information so that it can do the math that you're looking for. A little bit on joint ventures, color code personality. There are all of these personality tests, and this personality test is free first and foremost, which I love because you can get so much free stuff these days that can be really, really useful. And it'll tell you your primary color and what that means about your color. And you can give it to anybody that you work with, you live with, you're thinking about working with to get their personality. Because what happens is I use the tool so that I can understand other people's personalities so that somebody else's color so that I can communicate with them and work with them more effectively and more efficiently. Street Smart dialing technique. You will never have competition if you are making phone calls, folks. The Street Smart Networking Handbook is incredibly valuable because it just tells you exactly what to do to network effectively and efficiently. And you got to do networking. Networking is the reason I am here. Networking is the reason all of you are here because I wouldn't be here without networking. Okay? I went to a networking event one day after my husband had already gone to a networking event, and our lives changed forever. Bringing up real estate the street smart way. I have a coaching client. I talk about her a lot. Her name's Carol. She lives in Ottawa. She changed the way she talked. She started bringing up real estate. She started with these free tools the day we started coaching together. She got here. She looked at the module. She looked at all the ways to bring up real estate the street smart way. She met with her daughter for coffee the next day. Instead of talking about news, weather, sports, when her daughter asked her, "Hey, mom, what's been going on?" She took a deep breath. She was scared as hell, so scared. And she said, instead of, "Oh, it's gonna be hot today," she said, "You're gonna think I'm crazy. I just started coaching with a real estate investment coach." And her daughter said, "Mom, Aaron and I just came from his auntie's house. She wants to sell her house. She refuses to work with a realtor." It's a really funny story. Long story short, Carol bought her house, got a smoking deal. It's worth like twice what she bought for it now. And it wasn't that long ago. How to complete a real estate purchase contract. This is BC, but it can be applied to most other contracts because you always have to follow whatever is there in your jurisdiction, and how to create a presentation. So all of these tools are so useful. So make sure you hop on my link that I'll put into the chat, and it'll give you eyes. So sign up for this. It'll take you to the deal analyzer. Sign up for it, and you should get immediate access to this back office. And if you don't, I need you to reach out to me because that means something broke in the back channels of the ethers of the computer world. Yes, that is how sophisticated I talk about this kind of thing. Okay? So that's the free stuff that is available to each and every one of you, and it's a great place to just house like, oh, where am I going to go find that? Where am I going to go find that information? Chances are it's somewhere in two of those free things that you have access to. There's also an app that you can use on your phone, and you can play the recordings, you can play the events, whatever you want while you're working out, while you're driving, while you're walking, while you're hiking, whatever you want. Okay, so that's there for all of you. Now I'm going to go into the chat and I'm going to give you the link if you want to grab it. But again, if you're listening to this, you're watching this, the link will be somewhere around here. Anybody have any more questions? I hope I didn't type too loud. Thumbs up if you see it in the chat. Okay, good. I don't see any questions in the chat. I don't see anybody raising their hand. We got a little bit of time. If anybody wants to pipe in. I don't mean to be impatient, but if you just absorbed it all, that's great. Don't worry, there's a recording, so if you missed a little bit of the beginning, you can go back and you can watch it. It's no big deal. Okay, well then I'm gonna leave with this. Thank you, Johannes, for being here. Sometimes life is gonna be awesome, you know? Sometimes it's gonna suck. Sometimes it's really gonna suck. So if you're here tonight, or you're listening to the recording, or you're watching this somewhere, it means that you are either on an entrepreneurial path or you're wanting to get on an entrepreneurial path. And no matter where you are in life, things are sometimes going to be awesome or sometimes they are going to suck. And it makes me think about this guy that I know, that I talked to recently. And he's pushing 50. He hates his job, he hates his boss, and I can just tell he feels super stuck. And becoming an entrepreneur, I just know because I know this person, becoming an entrepreneur and going on this entrepreneurial adventure, as I like to call it, is not in the cards for him, probably, mostly because of his spouse. And that sucks. I know for a lot of people. My door keeps slamming because it's very windy outside, by the way. And somebody keeps opening the door. So anyway, that's happening. So whether you're already in this entrepreneurial journey or you're thinking about entering it, it's an adventure. So again, there's always going to be times in your life where they're either awesome or sucky. You might as well be on an adventure. And maybe somebody needed to hear that today because I can tell you it's pretty cool to be on this adventure. And we're not here for we're here for a good time. Sometimes a sucky time, not necessarily a long time. Okay, so I'll leave you with that. Thanks everybody for
Awesome,
showing up.
Julie.
It was awesome. Thanks,
Thank you
Christine.
so much. This is amazing. I always so good. I always learn something, and it's always so great to see you. So
Oh, you're
thank
the
you.
best. Welcome. One more thing, one more thing. This Christine that you see on all these recordings or when you're here on the events or you hear her, she is my #1 fan, and I am so lucky to have you, Christine. And if you don't have a #1 fan, reach out to Christine. She probably will be willing to be your #1 fan too. She's just a cheerleader for everyone. And surround yourself with people like Christine who believe in you. I hope you have many people in your life like that. Okay. Thank you, Christine.
Thank you.
Okay, everybody. We'll see you next Wednesday. All the best. Bye.
Bye.